What is going on, guys? We are back. I know, it's been too damn long. But we've been super busy. We got the app coming out. We got some other projects coming out. We've had fighters winning. We've had fighters getting ready. Daniel Marcos just got a great victory. We got Marc Andre getting ready for UFC 303. Big card. I know Connor's not going to be on it, but hey, Alex Pereira, Yuri, they made up for it. They made up. The card is stacked. But yes, Marc Andre is going to be the headliner of the prelims on ESPN Plus. You got to check that out. He is actually currently training with JC right now. Yeah, man, a lot has been happening. JC's going to kind of fill you in on everything, so I don't want to take too much of your time. Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
What's up, everybody? It's been a while. We have been busy, primarily with the app. We were busy with Daniel Marcos. We are now busy with Marc Andre. But the app and the fighting has really taken up a lot of our time. So we want to report on how all of that is going. Let's start with the fighters, all right? As you know, Daniel Marcos won a unanimous 3-round decision that he dominated from top to bottom against Castanedas. Tough kid. 28 fights. Marcos, this is his 4th fight. Actually, his 4th fight. His 5th fight within the UFC company, but his 4th under contract, not including the Contender Series. So this is really his 3rd real fight, okay? And you can't ask for more. His reflexes were on point. He won every single round. Got clipped with about 30 seconds left. A left kick that just kind of grazed him. Didn't cut him, didn't lump him up, but sometimes punches or kicks can come off above the temple, actually. It's almost at the crown of the head. Boom! And you're fine, but your equilibrium is gone. And if you see the fight, you'll see that he lost his legs a little bit. And within the legs, being lost a little bit, he cracked Castanedas with 1 or 2. So he kind of got even on the significant strikes. But then with 10 seconds left, somebody, I'm sure, screamed, "Run," and he ran because he had all rounds in the bag. But it shows you that in this kind of sport, you have to be alert till the last minute because as Kamaru Usman experienced with Leon Edwards, you can be ahead all 5 rounds, dominate the fight, and one kick changes the trajectory, not of the fight, of your career, of your entire career. One kick, one punch, one oopsie can cost you millions of dollars and change the trajectory of your career. This happens in life. An accident can leave you crippled, change the trajectory of your life. Same thing, a sickness, losing a loved one, anything like that, that's life. So you have to be as ready as you can be, knowing that some things are out of your control and you're going to have to friggin' man up, and we're going to be talking about that soon. So congratulations to Daniel Marcos. He had an excellent camp. We're getting so good. He's been with us for 2.5 years now. We're getting so good now with our fighters, with our Marc Andres, with our Gregory Rodriguez, with our Daniels, with those kind of guys, that these guys don't need 10 weeks. They don't. They stay pretty active, and they stay training with us year round, maybe 2 times a week. But our base is such, and not only that, learning the camp, learning how to increase the intensities, knowing the program, knowing where we're going to hit you hard here, and you have to take it easy over at the MMA Academy, knowing when you're going to go hard there, communicating that with us so we can schedule an appropriate workout for that day or the day after. All of those things get perfected. So right now, I would tell you with Daniel Marcos, he's not going to get any stronger. We don't need him any stronger. He's not going to get any faster. We don't need him any faster. He can get in a bit better conditioning as his spiritual status improves, because it's a spiritual thing. What you're willing, the human will, what you're willing to go through, what you're willing to experience and be able to neutralize it, meaning being able to experience it, stay in the moment, and stay on task. That we just call relax the face, stay in the moment, blah, blah, blah. But that's an evolution. Just like people who can meditate for 15 minutes, then 20, then 30 minutes, then 2 days, then 2 days with fasting. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger like that. So that kind of human will thing can always evolve and improve. The mechanics of making him stronger, faster, more powerful, we're done. We're done. Genetically, he is at his optimum. The only thing that has to be done is work on strategy. His technique is pretty solid. He's not going to improve his technique, but strategy, how is he going to approach a fight, and also his technological sequences, how he set up things. But his jab is his jab. The right hand is the right hand. His strength is his strength. We're not going to make any improvements. The only thing that can be improved is how he will use and how he will implement what he's developed here. For us to go beyond that genetic bandwidth will cost him pain, will cost him joints, will cost him damage that we don't want, and probably not improve his performance on the mat. Take away, actually. So that's where we're at with Daniel. He's in Peru now, enjoying his family. Marc-Andre coming up against a big fight, Pyfer. This is, in my opinion, a harder fight than Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis, I wasn't worried about. I thought that Marc was going to take Chris Curtis. I really did. Just like I thought that Gilbert Burns was going to take Kamaru Usman, and Chris Curtis, being the veteran, sly dude that he is, he fought a perfect fight. He didn't commit to anything, rolled things off, pop, 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 made sure he had the points, and kind of frustrated Marc. So that was a mental fight that we lost, where I had the better, in my opinion, the more fit athlete, the better cardio, the stronger guy. We had it to win. But Chris Curtis did a great job at strategizing, and he used a different strategy, and we couldn't overcome that strategy. So kudos to Chris for that. But Marc is ready. We have a 50 caliber sniper on our hands. Big guy, boom, 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 boom. So we have our plan. I'm telling you right now, although Pyfer's bigger, Marc is stronger, and Marc has more of a gas tank. The question now will become, can Marc implement his strategy on Pyfer? And will he get caught in the scope? Because Pyfer is coming down the middle, bang, bang, bang. Maybe try to take him down, but he's here. And he's got big shots, and he's a long guy. So we require a strategy for that. And he's been working on it, so let's see if he can implement his strategy. If he can, I'm very confident that we can take this fight, and it's a big fight for Marc. This one here will get him into a different conversation. So we're getting ready for that one. That one's on the 29th on the big card. Unfortunately, Conor will not be on that card, but it's still going to be a good card. It's a great card for Marc-Andre. It's a big fight, so we're ready to go. He enters now his last circuit week. We got 3 circuits. We got a 17-minute workout come Saturday. And it's a 17 minutes that will not present itself in the UFC, because no opponent can do to a fighter what time and reps and crunching it into 5 minutes will do to a fighter in a circuit. You just can't do that. The work output here is much greater. So I can tell you he's in great shape. He was ready to fight last week. So we just kind of holding him back, peaking the central nervous system, peaking the hormonal system that we talked about. That's what's peaking now. Physically, he was ready to go 2 weeks. So we're just maintaining that, potentiating the central nervous system and the hormonal system. The body's ability to inject adrenaline into itself, and receptors being able to uptake it without you freaking out and utilizing that energy in the proper manner. That's what peaks the last 2 weeks. It's not the physical. So, anywho, that's Marc-Andre. We're also getting Gregory Rodriguez ready, because he looks like he's going to be going in July. Don't know yet, depending on what happens this Saturday. So we're pretty confident that Gregory is also going to be ready. And we have, who else do we have coming down the pike? Thad.
Thad, August 19th.
And that's in PFL.
PFL.
And
Hard Rock.
at the Hard Rock. So we may all go down there and show our support for
And then
Thad
Jackie
Gene.
is fighting in Dubai August 3rd.
And who?
Jackie.
And Jackie is fighting in Dubai on August the 3rd. So we've been busy. Every month we got something going on. At least one, sometimes we have two. But we've been busy and we're going to stay busy. Now, we are going to talk about the app. This app has been 5 years coming. We just did a little preview of what the app does yesterday in Spanish. Okay, we're going to have a release date in Spanish of the 24th, and that's going to be a small beta group. Okay, that'll allow us to see how the app is working, what they like, what features they want, what features they don't use. So this small beta group is actually going to be our developer group, and they're going to get a special deal for a lifetime. And in turn, they're going to give us a lot of feedback. I suspect that the English version will be probably, what do you think, Rio?
Mid-July.
Mid-July will be the English release. Once we're in a month and we go, okay, this is working, there's no crashes, we can take in another 500, 1,000, 2,000 members, and it won't crash the bandwidth and all that. But it is extremely, extremely exciting after 5 years to have it to the point where we're spitting out workouts. We're sending workouts to clients. They're going, wow. We're doing the assessment. So we got the assessment totally automated with reports and workouts. It's amazing. It's amazing. And next year, AI is going to be in that app, and that's when it's going to go nuts. So we're super excited about the app. Stay tuned, and you too will be able to be on the VIP group, which is the first group that comes in, becomes part of the developing machine, giving the developers and the admin feedback. So we're going to mold that app to your taste, to what you need, because this, unlike any other app, there's no other app on the market. There's nothing in Spanish. That's why we're going to Spanish first, because they need it more than you guys in English. The English market has a shitload of apps. Most of them are garbage. 2 or 3 are okay, but they're not built by trainers. Yeah, they have trainers on their staff, but they're not built by trainers. I'm 65 years old. I'm still on the floor between 13 and 17 hours a week. Some weeks I'm there 23, some weeks I'm there 10. But I'm on the floor training. I use charts every day. I program every day. I have meetings with my trainers every week. So I know what it is to train trainers. I know what trainers need. I know what I need as a trainer. I know what I need as a gym owner. And we're putting all of that into the app. Okay? It's not a bunch of stuff for management and shit that you don't even use. Okay? Or special functions that you guys don't use. I know what a trainer wants because I'm one. I know what a trainer needs because I have 11 working for me and I've had them for 23 years. So I know what a trainer needs. This is the first app by a trainer for the trainers. Period. End of story. Now that we got that out the way, in comes, we used to call it the rant, but it's my way of putting things in the universe. So the day you're gone, everybody knows what you were about. And maybe when you put it out in the universe, you put it out in the universe at the right time for some people. Maybe somebody will hear it and your words will trigger a positive change in their life. It'll trigger a positive response. It'll trigger an action. They'll trigger a thought. And that's what you want to do here, because when you're gone, nobody's going to remember your money. Nobody's going to remember the cars you had, the houses you had. Everybody's going to remember how you made them feel. And if you didn't have that feeling impact, that helping the society impact, if you didn't have that impact on people, then you just lived a life that I think is unremarkable. I'm not saying it's not worthy. I'm just saying it's not remarkable. And I don't want to live an unremarkable life. I want to say, you know what? Money, no money, okay, health or no health, long life or short life, I lived a remarkable life. And I did everything in my power, right, to leave this planet better than I found it. And everybody around me, okay, felt my presence because I made my presence felt, okay? And I was reminded of that last week when I turned 65 on Wednesday, and Rio presented me with a 32-minute video of 100 people telling me how much I meant to them, how much they loved me, how much they supported me, and wishing me a happy birthday. It wasn't the birthday, okay? It was the time that they took to say that. It was also the words that they used to say that, and that my son would honor me was such a gift. You know, I always say, if you're a good father, chances are you're not a prick. You know, you're not a bad human being. All right. If you're a good parent, if I see that your children love you and that your children respect you and you have good children and they credit who they are to you, if I see that circumstance, man, you already have your stripes on your sleeve. As far as I'm concerned, you can't be a dick. You can't be a prick. No way you can live a bad life and leave that kind of mark. You know. So thank you to my son and thank you to all of you for wishing me a happy 65th. And now I want to leave a little something with you. Yesterday was our team meeting, and you know we go through. You know, this is the exercises we're using, and we go through biomechanical stuff, we go through education, we go through administrative stuff. Hey guys, got to start showing on time. I saw some people wearing gray shoes. You know that our shoes are all always black, uniform. Pick up the piece of paper. We got to do better at cleaning our stations. This, you know, the admin shit that's part of managing and directing a crew of people. Fine, but I always try to hit because my kids are young here. You know, they're in their 20s. They're in their 20s, and the only one that's older is Adam, and Adam digs this more than the youngsters. And I saw something from Tucker Carlson, and I go, I want them to hear it from somebody else so they don't think it's Papa lecturing. And I want you guys to hear it, and we're going to comment on it because I really, really, truly believe this. And I'm not telling anybody to get married, to have children, nothing. I want you to not take the words, but take the context. Take the meaning of what he's trying to say. He just lived his life in a way where he lived what he's saying. You don't have to live his life to live what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying, not necessarily the specifics of how to go about living this life, but how to go about living life in general.
Get married when you're too young, have more kids than you can afford, live boldly, and basically don't waste any time. This has become your message.
You like die before you think you're going to. Like the future is not certain. Yeah. Live, embrace meaning. And meaning is responsibility. They're synonyms. There's no meaning without responsibility. There's no gain without burden. There's no growth without suffering. I mean, these are all cliches for a reason because they're true. Americans have lost their self-confidence, clearly. Young men especially. Well, I can't get married. I can't have kids. I can't afford it. Well, yeah, you can't afford it because you don't have kids. But the second you have kids, guess what? You're going to afford it. I'll never forget. I had a child at 25 and I was working in a magazine and my editor, he goes, everything's going to change. I said, how? He goes, when you have a kid, you realize you will do whatever it takes.
That's right.
I did whatever it took. I remember thinking, another job, work 7 days a week, which I did for 4 years. Fine, like that's my job. I think my kids respected me, my wife loved me. I was really rewarded for it.
That's right.
How bad is that? Huh? And we see it. And we see that with people, but what saddens me is that we'll see it with a car. We'll see it with a vacation. We'll see it with plastic surgery. But we don't see it with life in general. Although, if you want plastic surgery bad enough to where you put it on a credit card, $10,000, $15,000, you commit yourself to, now that credit card has to be paid, okay? And you eventually pay it off. It may take you 10 years, but you eventually pay it off. How important was that plastic surgery to you? It was important enough for you to make that overstriding commitment, all right? And then you made it happen. You took away from here or you got another job, you made it happen. What he's trying to say is that although it could be demonstrated in buying a car, if you want a nice car, you overstretch yourself and then you go get a better job or a second job and you make it happen. But instead of getting material things, especially material things that may come from insecurity, material things that really don't give life much more value, okay? Yes, fun adds value to life, but meaning doesn't come from fun. Meaning comes from suffering. Value doesn't come from fun. How much fun do you have? That's the value in it. That's a movie. And you don't even have it on fun because you can go to a shitty movie, they charge you the same. So fun is not a value in itself. okay? A thing has a value directly proportional to what you had to sacrifice for it. A 4-year degree, medical degree, has value because you gave up at least 4 years of your life studying. And then you're going to give another how many years of your life with residency. So by the time you're done with your 8-9 year journey, that degree has value because of what you went through it. And what you went through it, what you accomplished, now continues to give you value. Value in competence, value in societal standing, value in economic liberty, and the ability to come forth for your family and provide for your loved ones, provide safety, provide education, provide opportunities. There's the value, okay? All the cliches. They're the cliches because they're true. So I told my staff, I had a 20-minute conversation. I told Rio, man, next time I go on one of these rants, record it, because I'll never do it justice. But you're 20 some odd years old, and I know you're not thinking about it. But think about this. How many 40-year-olds do you know, 35-year-olds do you know that are living with roommates? Roommates. We have an incredible amount of 40 and 50-year-olds now going back to live with their parents because they can't get it done outside. And yeah, interests are high. They're at 7%. And yeah, the real estate market is through the roof. And yeah, renting an apartment down here in Florida where that used to be $1,500 is now close to $3,000. Yeah, it's hard. Yes, it's hard to be a man. It's hard to be a woman. Yes, yes. Sometimes you can't have the kind of crazy fun that you want to have. But that crazy fun shit is for 18, 19-year-olds. It's not for 27, 30, 35-year-olds. No, it's not. Okay? If you're 30, 35, 40, you're still wearing your cap sideways, all right? Wearing jeans down to the half of your ass, all right? Going to bars every weekend and living with your folks or living with 3 dudes or 3 chicks in a house, you're not an adult. I hate to break it to you. You're not an adult. You are a retarded individual in the literal sense, not the colloquial sense, literal, meaning you are retarded. You are backwards in your accomplishments. You are retarded in your growth. You are retarded in your evolution. You are retarded in your development, in your maturity, in the ability to take on responsibility. That process has been retarded, has been slowed down, literally. Not casting any dispersions on any specific populations or anything like that. Okay? You're retarded. You're 40 years old living college life. You're 40 years old living 17-year-old life when you were living with your parents. Not acceptable. You want to know why? Because you never pushed yourself. And that's what Tucker is talking about. Have more kids than you can afford. Maybe literally that can be done that way, okay? But it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. It has to be like, okay, that would be the equivalent of, I want to improve my living condition. Dude, I live in the friggin' hood, man. I live in low-income housing. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want better. I want better. So you know what? I'm going to push the envelope, and I'm going to go into this new place at $2,500, not $1,800, not $1,700. I'm done with the cockroaches. I'm done living with people that steal your Amazon ship from your front door because you're living in an apartment complex that full of lowlifes. I'm done with that shit. I'm going to go and live in at $2,500, $2,700, and yeah, it's going to hurt. But you know what? I'm going to get another job, or I'm going to get a better job, or I'm going to go out there and get some skills that'll pay higher. That's what Tucker is talking about. Get married too young. Have more kids than you can afford. Meaning, push yourself. Overreach. It's like that negative. Why? Because you can't do the positive. Do the negative. That negative gets you stronger. So for all your 25 and 30 and 35 and 40-year-olds, if you're living with a roommate, it's fun, okay? You're not a grown-up. Grown-ups live alone. They're independent, okay? You want women, you want to know where the men are? They're in their mom's basements, many of them. Many of them. It's very hard to be a man today, all right? because of all the shit you have to put up with. There's been a movement to destroy men for the last 20, 30 years. Well, we've done a pretty damn good job. We've done a pretty damn good job. We got a shitload of living with mama, papa, and living with friends. Still living college life at 40. Okay? I was talking to a female the other day. My husband is 46. He's a bass player. And listen to this shit. He makes me pay my own car, my own insurance. Number one, he's 46. When did you marry him? 2 years ago. So he was a friggin' loser, all right, when you married him. He was living with his mom. Guess what? Both of them are living with their mom. This woman, in her early 30s, married a 44-year-old, okay, that lives with his mom. Well, guess what you got, girl? You got an incompetent loser, and you're wondering why he is making you pay for your car and your insurance and your gas. Making you. You're supposed to pay for that. You're a 30-year-old woman. You're supposed to pay for that. What do you mean making you? And what are you doing, all right, marrying a guy who's living with his mama? All right, now you both are living with his mama. What the hell? Don't be that couple. Don't be that dude, and don't be that woman. Overreach. Overreach. Put yourself in hard situations. What's weightlifting? You try to lift shit you can't lift. You try to do the rep you can't do. You're always overreaching. Why? Because you want more. So don't be afraid to overreach. That's what Tucker's saying. Don't be afraid to have more kids than you can afford. You want to know why? Because when you put yourself in that situation, if you any kind of a human being, one thing and only one thing matters: those kids, and that they have what they need. And you will go out, beg, borrow, or steal for that. Okay, hopefully you'll work 2 jobs. Hopefully you'll get a better skill and you'll make more money and you'll able to sustain your family the way they need to be sustained. So for all of you, 20s, 30s, and 40s, all right, we have to change this shit. Okay? Don't live retarded. Don't live below yourself. If you're in your 30s and 40s and living with mama and papa because you can't afford your own place, or living with roommates because you can't afford your own place, you're in college. You're in college. You're an immature fucking loser. Stop it. All right, cool. All right, so Rio, do we have any questions from anybody after this shit? Does anybody love me still?
We have about 16 yesterday. When's the app? When's the app? When's the app? When's the app?
Yeah, all the questions that are coming in, app. It's coming out the 24th for Spanish, and we'll probably follow that up after 2 weeks or so for English. Make sure that when it comes to the Spanish market, there's no bugs. Everybody's able to sign in, put in their little money, pay us a little bit. We're going to start it really cheap, $6 a month or $60 a year, but we're going to capture. We're going to capture 500 Spanish, 500 in English, and we're going to hold it. And you guys are going to be grandfathered in for the rest of the life of that app. It'll be $6 a month, no matter when we go AI, no matter when we add the nutrition model, no matter when we go from 500 exercises to 1,000 exercises, from 200 programs to 300 programs. No matter what we do, you're going to be locked in at the beta testing VIP group rate. And that'll be the first 500. You got it? All right, so it's coming to you, probably English speaking, July, early, mid-July. And for you Spanish that tune in to English, all right, el 24 viene caliente. All right, so I'll leave you back with Rio, and he'll close up this podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, guys, that is a wrap. All right, I know, I said it again in the beginning. It has been a long time, but we are back in action. We're going to try to bring you 2 podcasts a month and then 2 Instagram lives a month going over the app details. We have so many people blowing us up. We are going to release it first in Spanish, obviously a huge demand in South America for it. And then probably mid-July, maybe the week after 4th of July, release it in English. So we are, again, super excited. It's been 5 years in the making. It's been driving us crazy, driving me crazy as well, too. So, but again, just super excited to bring it to you guys. Super excited about some projects coming about. Super excited for these fighters. I'm just excited if you can't tell. All right, guys, again, welcome back. We love you, and we are here to stay. IHP all the way, baby. Let's go.